project management, a completely different perspective in the sector of civil and infrastructure projects. What is this different perspective? Let's get started immediately. Now, these are the very, very important key features are there, defining the reason why the project is necessary. Many times, the necessity of project may not be that much. When we see the risk and the profit percentage and all, actually, it's not necessarily you required to go to the project. Second thing is we need to understand that yes, this is a viable risk-free project, or with a minimalistic risk, actually we can complete the project. Second thing is capturing the project requirements. It's very down to earth project requirement, specifying the quality of the deliverables, estimating the resources and time scale. This is extremely important thing actually, which we generally carry out during the project requirement process. Preparing a business case. Now this is very important when it is coming to justify the investment and securing the corporate agreements and the funding. Let's say you are having a budget of, let's say for example, 1 billion, and if you want to do something within that particular budget, we make sure that the delay, risk and other things, the contractual agreements and other things, will make sure that that much amount of returns are definitely possible within the time frame given. Developing and implementing a management plan for the project. So what is the plan, the baseline and all, actually we'll be creating over here. Leading and motivating the project delivery team. See, for any particular project, it's very important that the team leader who is controlling all the activities is very. Next thing is leading and motivating the project team. Now, it's very important for completing a project. A motivated team is one of the essential parameter, undoubtedly. So we make sure that a constant motivation and the leadership qualities are given to the key peers actually, so that the project moves and runs the way that it should be. Managing the risk, issues and changes on the project. We make sure that without changing the baseline, the management of the risk and the other issues, how it can be adjusted properly within the same time schedule. Monitoring process against plan and managing the project budget. If the project timeline is not getting delayed, the budget will be same. Another thing is actually the resource planning, or you take the cost of the resources, the cost of the materials, everything is within the framework or the sanctity of the project. Actually, the monitoring becomes a little easy. We make sure that all those kind of risks actually are captured properly during the contracts only, and as well as during the project planning and the management. Okay, so that will keep our project budget on schedule to make sure that the profit is assured. Maintaining communication with the stakeholders and the project organization. It's very important that the team should speak to each other. They don't, make teethering problems. As well as the stakeholders are given the right information at the right time, so that they don't get panic at the end of the crisis that may occur. Make sure that the proper coordination happens within the team, within the stakeholders, with a proper communication channel. Last but not the least, the closing of the project in the controlled fashion. Come on, controlled fashion. What is the controlled fashion? Controlled fashion means it is not going out of the budget. It is not going out of the time. It is not going, enormously eating a lot of headache to the corporate companies, to the public near around, to the stakeholders, to government, to everybody. Doesn't get mess up. We will make sure that everything goes in particular time. Now these are the key features about the project management. Now as a third person actually, how do we achieve all this? We dream about it, but how do we achieve all this? Now this is the fundamental approach. What is the approach? Is process driven approach. We make sure that we follow the process driven approach. What is the process driven approach? Actually, there are various different types of approaches are there. There is a chariot actually. Many times I generally give this kind of example. Imagine that you are holding so many horses, you are a chariot. In that case, every particular horse is a particular discipline: architectural, structural, plumbing, electrical, geotechnical, project planner, then client, contractor, government agencies. Various different horses are different agencies which we need to manage properly. In order to understand and manage properly, you should know each and every horse, the nature of the horse properly. Then only you can manage. Otherwise, the horse will take you on toss. All right. So we make sure that every particular horse is enabled with the thread, the proper rope. What is that thread? What is the proper rope? Thread or a proper rope is basically the diplomacy. How do we manage that area? How do we control that area? How do we make sure that it goes through the particular process? It doesn't go just like that and stick around. Okay, so it is the process driven approach is what actually, this is the process driven approach. The entire system goes in a particular phase and the process. What is that? The first phase is initial phase, in which the project definition, project constraints, and problem statements will be considered. Definitive initial phase, in which the very definition of the project, what are the constraints or restraints, what are the limitations, and the statements, the problem statements. What are the probable problems statements? Let's say, for example, in Australia, there is a big fire that has happened. It has become like a problem statement for various projects. All right, it was not anticipated, but it has happened. So certain floats, certain time duration will be allocated in certain areas so that, the things doesn't go wrong and everybody is accountable for that kind of phase. Right? So initial phase, then the planning phase. When it comes to the planning phase, actually, we'll make sure that the detailed planning, estimating, and the scheduling will be done within the time. Execution phase, in which the project team acquisition, development, and management will work together to make sure that the execution phase will be taken care properly. The last phase is the project closure. Monitoring, controlling, and project closure is very important. Handing over the project from the developer or builder to the owner, handing over the project to the government, handing over project to the society people, handing over project from A to B. It's very important. It should go smoothly so that both should become friends throughout their life. It doesn't come with a dispute. I want this, I want that. The clarity in understanding and expectation will be met properly in a particular documented way, which we call it as contracts management. Right? So all these things actually will be taken care by the system. What is that system? That system is known as BIM and IIM technology. Building information modeling, infrastructure information modeling. Building information modeling is what? You will have different tools, the software tools which are related to the building, a particular structure. Infrastructure information modeling is what? This is related to the infrastructure, roads, culverts, bridges, tunnels, industrial projects, chimneys, highways, national highways. You take individual, sectorial, limited, unlimited problems at different levels. We call it as RLs. We call it as different, zones. There might be the environmental problems. There might be social problems. There might be socio-economic problems. There might be disastrous issues. There might be certain material issues. So those kind of problems can be definitely arrested, or they can be definitely targeted with this kind of technologies in advance so that we can be prepared to face properly. Project management. There are various different ways of handling the project as a management tool with the software, with the technology, with the right people, motivated people. and with the vendors and with the laborers and with the instruments and with the instrumentation. We call it as machineries, equipments, etc. So project management is a vast field. Actually, we make sure that with the BIM technology, with the coordination technology, with the calculations means variation calculations, the variance, the very much variance. Let's say, for example, $1 of change in this particular thing in a unit, how does it going to make a difference in the entire particular span of the project? That is the variance. It has to be adjusted, otherwise you have to pay it from your pocket. All right. So we will make sure that digitally arrangement of this kind of project management tools definitely help you to understand the anticipated problems and how you can make sure that it doesn't go beyond your limits, it doesn't go beyond your budgets. You don't need to knock your bank again to beg some money. All right. So this is how it is. Next one is whether that is an infrastructure project or whether that is a building sector project. Anything can be managed with this kind of technology and tools. Whether that is a green building projects or whether that is solar panels, or you take the example of the windmills kind of projects. Whether your windmill is there on the top of the terrain, a lot of problems of mobilization, a lot of problems of cranes going there, a lot of problems of heavy weight equipments handling over. A lot of project management is required, and the project cycle is required. The proper sequence of the activities, items are required. The set of equipments are required to facilitate certain things. So we'll make sure that all the things happens very properly, systematically. All right. The next one is the layout development platform. Now this is a complete platform. In one particular project, you will have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. Different phases handling together. Different phases will have different problems, different resources, different machineries, equipments. All the things will be completely different. But a project, it is the same type of project. It's like one big tree is having different branches, and you will have different issues in those areas. But it's one tree. It's one project. Actually, if something goes wrong, the entire tree should not get collapsed. It should be adjusted. The variance, the calculations, the demands, the supply, everything will be adjusted with the central coordinated system, which we call it as BIM and IM system, which we call it as the coordination tools, which we call it as the sophisticated tools that we are using. Now, in this particular thing, actually, this is a location finder, in which actually you'll find out where exactly is your project, in which you are going to lay the infrastructure projects. What are the probable issues? There might be a town there, there might be a lake here, there might be existing road, there might be different levels, there might be transmission lines, there might be socio-economic parameters or problems that may arise. So we'll make sure that that terrain is classified into different areas, and a particular zone is getting developed, so that with the RLs, with the different system, with the different type of designs of the roads, there might be different types of roads, there might be different type of one of the bridge also might be required, or the different payments, the different modules that might be required for design. Okay, so all these things also can be added as a part of design. Then the proper quantity calculation, proper sequence calculation, proper resource calculation, proper monetary calculation can be done with this. In certain areas, there might be certain infrastructure projects in which you have the electrical or instrumentation module, in which the sequence of laying all this, particularly in the top projects where the turbines are coming, the electrical generation power systems are there, you require such kind of tools in order to make sure that everything works fine. Proposed unit generation. Now let's say, for example, this is the unit in which you will generate a terrain in which another road is going to be there. Now this is a proposed unit generation in which you will plant a road in which actually every different RLs, the levels would be there. Every levels, every sections, every chain age, you will have different kind of problems that can be anticipated quite early. All right, and that can be noted down in order to make sure that the project goes in a proper sequence. There would be a volume of cutting and volume of filling. These are the quantity related things. Now many a times actually you will not have a control over the quantity of filling and the cutting. So this particular tool will help you to really understand what is the estimated cost of the cutting and filling and what is the real cost or the real quantity of the cutting and filling over here. Okay, specifically for the roads or infrastructure projects. In a particular way, actually you'll get the lengthwise or you'll get the shape wise all the quantities over here to make sure that the project goes in a particular way. So the data in the 21st century, believe me, data is the tool. In this IT world, if you don't have a data, why the infrastructure projects, why the project management is going out of the way? It's completely getting blown off. Why? Because there is no proper data. The data collection mechanism is not that proper. Many times actually this kind of tools will help you to understand and to simulate some kind of data to anticipate that kind of problem so that you don't get shocked. Every particular RL level over here, you will see that actually what are the cutting and filling quantities are there, what are the problems are there, whether that problem is social, economical, whether that problem is related to the environment, whether that is a problem related to the government or to take the permissions, many related, whether that problem is related to your bills. All right, so all these things actually can be divided in a particular segment way so that a big problem can be cut down into smaller problems and resolved then and there only without affecting to the stakeholders. Now, capturing the incidences during the construction, this is very important. Now, suppose if you are getting the bill late, that's why the project got delayed. That's not your fault, right? So it's very important that phase-wise, at a particular time, this particular money has to come inside the company, but it has not come. It has delayed by a month or so. 1 month delay is with the interest rate. Actually, what is the quantity of the total amount that has shortfall and why the consequence has happened? That is what actually we are going to capture in order to make sure that the entire project doesn't fall around. This is a bridge model in which the road is there as well as the bridge is there. There might be over bridge, there might be under bridge. There might be so many differential sequential options are there. So you can simulate, you can generate, you can create different options, and for getting it approvals also, for getting it streamlined also your way, your equipments and your labor workers and everybody actually the materials can be laid at the proper sequence so that it happens the way that you want it to happen. In this case, you will see that there is a road here in which actually there are so many different items, or the segmented road in which various problems and sequences are given, and how much is the volume of cutting and filling and how the probable sequence that can be measured. That also can be simulated with the software. You can do that. You can make a 3D visualization so that to anticipate the problems on the site. You don't get surprised. Basically, you can do the sequencing. You can do a lot of robotics in which actually you will see that what kind of equipment, what kind of instrumentation will help you to do that project in time, in particular way. Task overview. Now these are basically the coordination tools between the disciplines actually. There might be certain issues, there might be certain tasks, the milestone, the timesheets. There might be so many people who are dealing and working with this. And also there are so many budget where this is planned and actuals. And there are certain activities and there are certain projects which are overrun, which are going away from the budget. So this is basically you'll get a dashboard entirely, construction industry dashboard that you will see on your mobile, on your tab, on your laptop, on your desktop, wherever you want to have. You will get this kind of view so that your project will be there on time. There would be crisis issues, but that will be displayed based on the authorities that we give to the people. They can see that these are the issues, anticipated issues or in advance issues, so that you will have some particular time to tackle it on time in the budget. Kanban views. Can you do this activity or it has to be banned? Whether that particular activity is in progress, to be tested, to be closed, or in progress, whatever. Actually, every particular task, every particular activity, every particular item comprised of different activities, every particular activity is comprised of different small works. So those works will hampered. If the work is hampering, the activity hampers. The activity is hampering, those items are getting halted. Your bills will not be getting released. Please make sure that this particular views will help you to understand all the figures right in front of you in a particular screen, and you will get a lot of energy to focus those key problems. The key people should solve only the key problems. Come on, key people should solve only key problems. If you don't solve the key problems, your time, your energy, your money will be wasting over to the small administrative works, and it will hamper the entire the system. So we generally help you to create this kind of system in front of you, so that this will be arranged in a particular sequence and the project will be through. A systematic scheduling is very important. Whether that is a critical path, whether that is the where the problems are there, how much, which particular activity is completed and which particular activity is to be start before it. I mean, there are 4 different types of dependencies actually, in which you can define this, and various different options are there in which you can handle this kind of the bar chart or a Gantt chart. You can see this kind of charts on your mobile or your screen anywhere. At the same time, this is basically right people will be able to edit those kind of tasks. At the same time, this is not in static, this is dynamic. That is the beauty of this. What is meant by static and dynamic? Come on. Static is something which is dead. You have done that something somewhere in Microsoft project or maybe in Primavera. Somebody is taking printout and we are just discussing that. No, this is going in real time. In real time. So we'll anticipate those kind of problems and we'll have some kind of cushioning. We'll have the floats in such a way that we can freeze the problems then and there only. So this is not dead work. This is live work. Okay, many times actually I've seen in the construction, particularly in the construction industry, somebody's planner, somebody's doing that and somebody else is monitoring and there is no correlation, both are fighting. See, man-made issues, there might be 100 issues are there, the man-made issues will be 90 issues. Technology, process orientation would reduce that many number of issues. That is the beauty of this, right? Many reports are getting generated in an Excel sheet with the same technology. Whatever the data simulations that you want to do, whatever the graphical representation that you want to do with the stakeholders, with the right people, would be done right away. Material monitoring and reconciliation. We have created the in-house monitoring programs in which what are the cutting and filling quantities are there, what are the cumulative things, these are the targeted volume of cutting, and these are the actual one. So are we putting a right resource or are we putting more resources? Is it going over budget or is it going under budget? We can able to tackle those kind of issues, and believe me, a lot of money can be saved. A lot of money can be saved with this. Believe me. Tracking of material consumption on site. Different materials or different activities, planned versus actual. Come on, again, planned versus actual. We are interested, we go along with the map, but we see actually road. The GPS coordinates, the Google map. We see that in the mobile first, okay, this is the route. But in actual, if something goes wrong, that's a big problem. Alright, so we make sure that your planned and an actual would be concurrent with each other so that you don't get surprises. We have created a digitalized site platform, site reporting platform, in which actually all the material reconciliation, all the things actually will be captured daily. and we'll make sure that actually the things doesn't go wrong. Digitalized site monitoring process. Now this is very, very important slide actually, in which you will see that all the resources, all the graphs in a particular way, so that your decision making would be, fabulously correct. This is the proper output that you will get the proper ROI, the returns of your investment. I hope you liked the video. If you really liked it, please give a thumbs up. If you really love it, please subscribe the channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.